hopefully everything goes smooth and we'll start putting together Gimmighoul. So stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mitch Austin here from Austin's Workshop, and Happy New Year, Happy 2023. Hope the year's going pretty good for you guys. It's going really great for me. If you guys have noticed my shirt, I recently became a father last year of a new baby boy. He's 2 months old now, so that's part of the reason why I haven't really been uploading a whole lot, kind of preparing for my son to arrive. And he's really a great kid, and I love being a dad. And now I'm ready to get back into starting my videos again. So this project, I'm making a roaming form Gimmighoul from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Little backstory of Gimmighoul. Gimmighoul is a ghost type Pokemon, which in my opinion really doesn't look like a ghost type Pokemon. When I first saw it, I didn't see what made it a ghost type, but I guess because it lives in a chest, or its chest form, it somehow becomes a ghost. But anyway, I still like the concept of the Pokemon. So roaming form Gimmighoul is 4 inches tall. So we're going to start off with the antennas, and this project is mainly going to be printed on my Solvo SV04 because a lot of the parts I designed are for multicolor, because Gimmighoul's got a lot of colors to them, and I thought it'd be easier than printing on my one color printers, and it'd just be a little more fun. So we'll see how that goes, and let's have some fun with this project. So for the antennas, I used black and shiny gold filament, and after an hour of printing, we have the 2 antennas sitting right there, and they came out fairly well. So next up, I'm going to print the tail of Gimmighoul, and afterwards I will be printing the head, which will be blue-gray filament and black filament, and that's going to take about 16 hours to print. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so I decided to start printing the body first before I started printing the head, because the head obviously is going to take 16 hours and the body is going to take about 3 hours a piece. Now what I mean about 3 hours a piece is I cut the body in half. So this is the front half of Gimmighoul. As you can see, it's got the lines there, and it has some holes right here because I forgot to mention at the start of this video, I designed Gimmighoul to be articulate, I think that's the word, yeah, articulate, so bending his arms and being able to turn his head sideways like that. So that's why there's those holes there, so later when I print his arms and head, slots can fit inside of his body there. And obviously once I print the second part and all the parts, I'll glue them together and it'll be one solid. So this one's obviously done. Working on the second part now. Again, that'll take probably 3 hours. Then we'll start the head. So we'll see each other again probably tomorrow morning. So fingers crossed that these prints hold up. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. I got both pieces of the body together. Haven't glued it yet, but just to show you that there's both pieces there, and the back piece has a hole there so I can put Gimmighoul's tail on there. And we got the head printing right now, and I don't know why I said 16 hours. I must have been thinking of another setting that I had playing around with this, but got about another hour of the head printing. Then I got to print the arms, and I think I'm going to get this printer up and running to print the gold coin of Gimmighoul, and also the gold eyes for his pupils. Coin will probably take a couple hours. The pupils are very small. They'll take like probably a minute. So we'll get that started, and then once we get the arms done, I probably won't record the arms. I'll probably record next time you see me. We'll be putting everything together, the arms, the body, and all that. So hopefully everything goes smooth, and we'll start putting together Gimmighoul. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so it's been a couple days. I have all the parts done. I haven't been recording because my son hasn't been feeling all that well, so I've been making him priority over this. But we have all the parts now, and I just want to review what we have. So we have the two antennas for Gimmighoul. We also have the tail, obviously the same thing. I printed off the arms. I didn't show you guys this, but we have all three of his hand pieces right there. Let me see if I can get it on camera. A little nice, little itty bitty arm pieces just like that. I did print off, or I designed pegs to put on his arms, but unfortunately my printer couldn't print them off because they were that tiny. It could register, it just was very detailed, and I think the speed of the printer, even at its slowest setting that I couldn't properly print those off. But something I did discover was playing around. I took some filament. This isn't the color I'm going to use, but I just have it right here. I discovered that the filament fits perfectly through the holes there. So I'm going to use the color filament I used for this to go through the holes for his arms to connect them together so that way they move. So problem solved right there. That was an accident problem. Perfect. Worked out perfectly. Again, we have the two halves of his body. We have the back half that has the hole for his tail and the front body part like this. We didn't show these, but I have the pupil golden eyes there, and I have a Gimmighoul coin that I made. I saw that this was the design on the coin, and then the back side I just did like a Pokeball symbol because I didn't know what the other side of Gimmighoul's coin looked like, so I didn't know if it was like just both sides were this symbol, but that's his coin right there. And finally we have his head. Now I designed the printer to be able to print his black pupil eyes on this, but for some reason it didn't want to stick. But obviously that's not a major thing, Jesus Christ, because I can use super glue and glue the black pupils to his head again. So that is problem solved right there. So let's go ahead and start gluing some of these pieces together. Let's first glue his black eyes back to his head. So I just got some Gorilla super glue there to be able to attach all these parts together. I really didn't think I needed anything stronger because it's a really small project. I usually use like contact cement with 3D printing because it's really strong glue. But obviously, because this is just like a toy, a little model, not going to be really roughed around too much. It's doesn't really need that heavy of glue. And super glue, especially Gorilla Glue, is very, very strong on its own. So we don't need to worry about that. So we got the eyes now glued on there just like how it was supposed to be, and we'll throw in, just want to trim up these eyes a little bit, just a few little hairs that the printer decided to leave behind. We'll get that cleaned up, we'll get this cleaned up just like that, and a little glob of glue right there for one eye. We don't want to use too much because it's Gorilla Glue and you don't need a whole lot for Gorilla Glue to stick to things. So then we got the eyeball there, just about centered. I can kind of see where I had designed where the eyeball to go. I don't think you can really see on camera because of the light, but there is a slight circle there where I made like a slight indentation for where the golden eyes would go. So that's what I'm using as a guide right now to see where his eyeballs are going to go. So that looks pretty good. I don't think I need to clamp it down all that well. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure there. I think Gorilla Glue says you just got to kind of squeeze it for like 10 seconds there just to make sure you got a good firm seal right there. So I just want 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Yeah, I know how to count, but I'm just skipping ahead just like that. So there we go. We got the golden parts of his eyes, and just because we got the head right now, I'm just gonna pop in his antennas. So the antennas, I had to drill out a little bit of the insides there because the hole, I did design the hole to be a little bit bigger for the antennas, but because this project's really small, the printer couldn't, I guess it couldn't really register that it needed a little bit more space. It's worked with me before with like much bigger projects, but I think because this one was so small and so detailed, it couldn't fully register the little bit of gap it needed. But other than that, it came out pretty good. So then we got his head looking very, very well. I like the look of that. I know his antennas are a little bit rough, but I didn't want to trim too much because it's small detailing and I don't want to break too many things. So next thing I want to do is I want to get its arms together. So I got to cut off some filament. Alright, so we have the little bit of string there for the filament, and we are going to attach. Now I want to make sure I'm putting the arms on properly because the way I designed it, so they bend a certain way, so they don't bend. So kind of just like with your normal arm, your arm bends like this, your arm won't bend the other way. So it has like the little stopper there to make sure its arm doesn't fully bend all the way crazy like. So I just wanted to make sure that is lined up, that I have the right pieces for the right arm. So we're gonna slide that through. Now I'm gonna try, now obviously this might not, shoot. Oh. Now I don't think this is gonna stay perfectly still. So we have the arm in there just like that, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess that I don't need. So just cut that right off, and I might throw in some glue just to make sure, because right now the arm is together like that and the filament's in there, so I might put in a little bit of glue, a little drop of glue on the ends there, just to make sure that the filament doesn't pop out, so the arm doesn't come apart. I might do that. I might use a heating, like soldering pen that I have that can solder the pieces together, but I don't want to warp too much. So that's weird. So I guess I must have designed this hole, these holes for this one to be smaller than the hole I just put in. So I have to drill out those holes a little bit. So give me 1 second. Let me clean out those holes so I can fit that filament a little better. So hold on one. Alright, so I'm back. So I drilled out both arms there. So now all the arms are articulating perfectly, just like this. So I just gotta clip off the excess to these, just like that, and just like that. Beautiful. That looks pretty good. That's one of my best work right there for articulating. I haven't done a whole lot of articulating projects, but this actually is one of my one of my cleaner ones. So we got that, and I want to get this other arm connected. Now I just lost the filament. Hook that up just like that, and a little snip right there, and then we just attach the last arm piece just like that. So a little snip there and a snip there. So now we have both arm pieces. Now they look like they're staying in there pretty well, so I might not have to glue them, but there we go. We have both of the arms together just like that. Now we're gonna glue all the pieces together. So we are gonna take the back part of his body there, and this is gonna be a little tricky. I'm not gonna be able to probably see it on camera there, but we're gonna put, and I wanna make sure I'm putting the right arm on the right side. So we got this arm going into that hole. We have this arm going into that hole, just like that, and then we have the head going in that hole. I'd show you, but I don't have enough arms. So we'll lay that there, just like that. You take his head, and we'll put it in the hole, just like that. And we'll throw some super glue on this, avoiding the hole. Now I wanted to say, because I don't think I said this earlier in another video, in case anybody's wondering, I tried making the legs articulating as well. I at least a little simple, like bending, just like that. But nothing I did made it look clean or look accurate. It looked a little funky. It also looked like I would have to like chop off pieces of his body, his main torso, to make it look good. So, and it just didn't look accurate enough, so I decided to leave him just like this. So if anyone's wondering why I didn't do articulating legs, that's why. So we will throw some glue on his body. You really don't need, I keep adding a lot more super glue than I really need, because I keep forgetting, like, really all you need is a couple drops, and that'll keep it sturdy together. And I'll add another couple drops to the other body just to add some extra connection points, so nothing really falls off there. So we got that, and line that up there, and there we have it. Of course, this is like the nervous point, because I've now glued, and if there's any problems, I would have to break this or possibly reprint a new one. But everything looks pretty good. Lines up there. We'll just kind of try to line it up there and squeeze it together, make sure that everything's lined up the way it should be. Don't want it looking too funky, but it looks pretty good for the most part. Alright, look at you, you little handsome devil there. Alright, and there is Gimmighoul. Well, before we get all excited there, we just got to put in his tail. Just kind of screws in the back there, just like that. It sticks right there, and the coin will sit just like that. Now, it's not going to stay while I'm holding it while it's standing up, but it should stay if I put it right there. So Gimmighoul, and then the coin will sit right in the back of his tail. Look at this. Roaming form Gimmighoul in all its glory. This came out really, really well. Like I said, it's roughly, actually, I got a tape measure right here. Let's see. So Gimmighoul is roughly 4 inches tall. We will see. 4 inches tall from the floor there. Oh, hang on. Might be a little off, but it looks to be, yeah, 4 inches. Pretty close. I'm measuring from the top of his head, not to his antennas, but I would say it's pretty close eyeballing it. So yeah, there we have it. We have roaming form Gimmighoul. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see me make chest form Gimmighoul, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as I upload that video, and so you're notified about all future videos that I make on this channel. And remember guys, if you have a crazy idea for a project and a crazier way to make it happen, don't let people tell your ideas are stupid. if they work. I'll see you guys next time. What do you think? Should we make you your chest form? Let's get to work.